Little review on the Dewalt DWS780 Miter Saw and the Dewalt stand, the DWS726. I just purchased this to replace my Hitachi down here, and in the meantime I borrowed a Dewalt 779, and this is a buddy of mine. I put it on my Hitachi stand. He didn't have a stand, but a little comparison here and maybe some things that I like and don't like. First of all, the blade that comes on these things, well, I actually got a Dewalt 60 tooth, which I guess it's a little better than some of the guys get, but I right away put on my CMT 12-inch. It's a 80 tooth, but right out of the box I checked this thing for squareness, and I was pretty amazed. It was actually right on the money. Even the fence is square, which it would be this one-piece design fence that comes around, so that's all squared up. That's the same on the 779, as you can see, but on my Hitachi it was two separate fences, and that was a pain in the ass to get squared up. Little difference here, this is plastic on the 779, the Dewalt, where it's a cast piece on this. Kind of an upgrade there. It's got a light up here that shines down onto the, it's a shadow cast, and it shadows a line down onto the piece of wood. Not sure how that's going to work in the full daylight. The Hitachi had a laser, but again, trying to get the lasers lined up and all that stuff, I think this is a better system. Just might not be able to see it in real bright sunlight. Smooth operation. I was really surprised at how smooth this thing slides in and out. I mean, really nice. Of course, these are on bearings back there. I used the 779 for a few cuts, and I mean, it's basically the same thing. So just a couple of minor things that they changed between the two models. Is it worth all that extra money? I like to have the ability to see where the line cut is. So as far as that upgrade goes, yes. Now let's get to the stand. My old Hitachi was, it's narrow for one thing, and I don't know how many times it got, like trying to go up a curb or something, the thing got sideways and just flipped over. And I mean, it's got road rash from falling over and knocking it out of square and all that good stuff. I'm going to give this to the guy that owns this saw. If he doesn't want it, he can throw it away, just because he doesn't have a stand. But I mean, if you're careful with it, it's a good stand. It's sturdy. I mean, it doesn't move once it's up in place. I mean, the thing I don't like about it is these arms, once you get them extended out, it's hard to adjust for the wood to sit on top. And on the Dewalt, there are a little bit bigger square tubes on these things. You gotta loosen that up and slide it out. It slides really nice. But once you tighten it up, it's got a heavier gauge, well, not gauge, but bigger tube that it slides out on, and it's pretty solid. I'd like if they would have put rollers on this. Now, I've seen a model, I think it's called the DWS780 Model 1. They did have rollers at one time, and I think I can buy the parts as a replacement to get for the rollers for this. So I'm looking into that. As far as sturdiness, it's pretty solid. I mean, once it's up and in, I mean, it's not, it's as probably as solid as that is once you get all the legs straightened out on it and everything, but it's not as high height-wise. It's a little lower than that. I don't think that's going to matter for me. I'm not a real tall person. I could see that being an issue for a tall person, but for me, I mean, if you're 6'8" or something, this thing, it comes right up to my belly button in the front. And I was always catching my clothes on this thing as I would walk around it. Now it comes up to probably my belt buckle. So that's a difference in the stands. And I know there's a lot of stands on the market. I mean, I researched the hell out of it, and there was one I was gonna buy from Harbor Freight, the Hercules stand, which is a decent stand. I liked it. It was a little narrower though, kind of like the Hitachi stand, and I was afraid I was going to end up with the same thing where it would wobble a little bit going up and down stairs, or if you hit a curb and stuff. With the wider wheel stance on this, I don't think it's as prevalent to wobble going up and down steps and getting all out of whack and falling over. Plus you have the bigger handle up here that you maneuver with, and on this, all you had was these two handles that came down right here that very narrow, and was a pain in the ass, but it did what it was supposed to do when it was up and running. Don't move this around too much just to get it out and do some sawing and stuff like that when I'm doing projects. But like I said, out of the box, I checked everything. I haven't cut anything on it yet. But as far as with some squares and stuff, I was like totally blown away that everything was squared up on this thing. I managed to make a deal at, where did I get this from? Home Depot. They were, well, actually, we have a store locally called Runnings, and I was in there looking for something else, and I saw they had the Dewalt saws, and they actually had this on sale for $5.99, and they were giving us one of the cheap stands away, the Dewalt stands. I was like, well, should I buy that? But then I wanted the 3-year extended warranty added on, so that if anything happened to the saw, I would be covered on that. So I went to Home Depot and I showed them the ad, and they actually honored it. I got the saw for the same price, which was $50 off. I didn't get the stand, but I should have and put it underneath that for my buddy, but I thought about that afterwards, and that was an afterthought. But so far, I haven't cut anything on it yet. Just put it together, put the stand together last night, and then put the saw on it this morning. It's about 50 degrees out here today. We got some snow on the ground. So I have quite a few projects I got lined up for this. We're actually going to be building some tree stand blinds, and I got part of it. I got the base of it built back here. This is the blind itself. That's the inside of it right there. Those 2x4s are what the walls get mounted to on the outside, and then there's a piece that goes on the outside of that are sandwiched. I actually have fiberglass styrofoam filled panels that are gonna go in this. I built one before that, and man, is that thing warm. So I'm gonna be building quite a few of these for myself and for a couple other guys, but there's the panels I'm using. I am a Dewalt guy, so I have a Dewalt table saw back there. And like I said, I bought the Hitachi back in 2017. I was doing a basement refinish. We had it done, and then I just refinished it just after the years of abuse and all that good stuff. But we remodeled the basement, and it looks pretty sweet now. It's more of a man cave, but yeah, we're pretty happy with this right now. Like I said, it's a lot better than I had before, and out of the box, squares could be, like I said, I haven't cut anything yet to actually do the end cuts and stand them together and stuff, but right now it's just checking it with a square. I'd say it's pretty much right on the money. So we'll be giving this a shot, and I'll do an updated review after I do a few cuts with it, maybe build something. So far, looking good.